These are my top dieting hacks that you'll have never heard of. Bringing you all the way back to whenever I started bulking. I was around 77 kg and I bulked the whole way up for about 3 years until I had a massive pinball head and I was 104 kilos. Now that was not all muscle. I think I took things a bit too far. Whenever I started dieting back down, I noticed that it was easy at start. I'd added from like 104 kilos down to 90 kilos. And then the diet actually got really difficult because I was in a deficit for so long. That 90 kg down to 80, these dieting hacks actually made such a difference. I never hear anyone talk about them and I want to share them. It just makes such a difference. And the first one is doing your shopping online. This seems so simple. I do not know why people don't do it. Here's why you want to do it. See, when you go out shopping, you have to drive to the supermarket, right? You then have to walk up and down the aisles, which might sound good, but when you're food focused, what happens to your eyes? You start looking, oh, them donuts are only a little bit of money. I'll just grab them. And before you know it, it's in your cupboards and you're snacking on it. You've just brought temptation from the supermarket home, and now you have to use a willpower. And if you don't know, there is like science to back this. You only have a certain amount of willpower to use every day. So if you now have foods that can bring you off plan, you really enjoy, they're high in calories, this makes it a nightmare. Like if I have Häagen-Dazs in my house, that is getting it. I am so in love with the cream. Like it's so good. Like ice cream is just my weakness. If you don't buy it, it makes it way easier. And if you don't go to the supermarket, you're not gonna pick up trash. So whenever you order the meal plan, you can literally just hit repeat and it'll deliver the same time every week with the quantities you know. It's 2 minutes work. And it also means that time you saved, you can use that to prep your food. You can use that to do anything else. You can use that to go for steps or go for a cardio. That's gonna be way more effective. You might use some excuse, but trust me, that one is a game changer. Number 2 is controversial as well. Whenever I'm dieting, I actually found that moving the majority of my calories to earlier in the day, like breakfast, made such a difference. There's loads of research to back this, that large carb protein meals early in the day, for example, make a massive difference with your appetite regulations. You're less likely to eat more throughout the day if you have bigger meals at the start. And this goes completely against what a lot of people say with fasting, but breakfast is breaking fast. So even if you fast for the first part of the day, your first meal being quite large is shown to help reduce appetite. So I would actually end up having somewhere like a third of my calories in this meal. And what I found for me is that worked, because what I was doing before was I was saving loads of my calories for night. I was having poor workouts because none of my carbs were around my workout. So I noticed strength drop off. I noticed that I was just almost waiting to feast at night to go to sleep. And when you eat large amounts of food before bed, insulin spikes, growth hormones hard to release after you sleep. Putting carbs, all that at the start of the day actually made a big difference. I noticed I was able to lift more weight, stay more jacked doing that, and it made a massive difference. So playing around with that and seeing what actually makes your diet easier rather than just your cravings makes a big ass fucking difference. You might end up having Häagen-Dazs around 10 a.m. whenever you break fast, but that's a good life to me. Number 3, stop watching Netflix, stop touching your toddler at night. No, I'm only messing. I'm not gonna be that dude. It's keeping your sleep and wake cycles the same. Look, let me bring you back to whenever I was in the fire service. So whenever I was dieting really hard, we got this really busy period. Like I remember one night, we had a house fire, we had a car crash, and we also had a dog trapped in between a fence. Whenever my sleep and wake cycles got affected, I found it so hard to diet. This is working days, working nights, shift work is always way tougher to build muscle and lose fat because of this. You don't regulate as well and your eating times go slightly off. Whereas there's loads of research to back if your sleep and wake times are the same, it regulates hormones, health, it gets you in routine, and it means you're not hungry as well. So if you have 4 meals, 10, 2, 5, and then 8, and that's it. And that just routine just means you know it's spread out right, you're less likely to get hungry, you're less likely to break that, you've got everything prepped, you know what you're eating. It just makes things so much easier. Number 4, whenever you are ordering, don't drink normal water, drink sparkling water. The carbonation in the water makes a big difference. And if you don't like the taste of sparkling water, I don't really care. It's not gonna affect your teeth. It's still gonna make a massive difference of how full you feel. And I do think there's something about agua con gas, as the Spanish say, that just gives me that bit of like a feeling that makes a big difference. You know, it doesn't taste like you're just drinking boring water. So I notice I can drink more water, keeps me fuller as well, hydrated. Whenever you drink enough water, your hunger cravings go down. Drink it, give yourself 20 minutes, and you'll notice you're not as hungry as you thought you once were. Really simple tip. Makes a big ass difference. Number 5, keep yourself busy. If you're always in your house watching Netflix, having a cup of tea or a coffee, and you always have a biscuit with it, actually give yourself stuff to do. Like go out, meet friends, go for a walk. Keep yourself busy, because when your mind is preoccupied, it's not thinking about food. So if I'm on the laptop all day, working like mad, I'm not thinking about food. Like think of the last time you were highly stressed. Were you worried about the meal you're eating? No, because it takes your attention away. Now, I'm not saying go out and cause yourself a load of stress. Don't break up with your girlfriend. You probably don't have one if you're watching my channel. That thought process of keeping yourself busy sounds really small, but it makes a big, big difference, because you're just not going to be food focused, and that will change the game. Point 6, this is maybe the strangest one. I once had a client, and one of the rules we made was I got him to give me money, and if he didn't hold up his end of the bargain, I gave the money to somebody he didn't like. Having skin in the game makes a big difference. So whether that's a coach or whether you say to your family member, here's $1,000, if I don't complete this, burn it in front of me, or give it to charity, or give it to somebody you don't like. You need to actually back it up. If you ever notice the way my hair changes color, like the wind, like there was a stage where it was white, it was blonde, it was every color, it was shaved off fully. These are forfeits whenever I don't do something I say I'm gonna do. And I follow through with it, because what that means is if I make a forfeit, I tell other people, it gives me accountability. And if I don't hit the income goal, I don't hit the fat loss goal, I don't do what I say I'm gonna do, there's a consequence. Because if there's no consequence, you're not gonna do it. So treat yourself like that, get some accountability. If you need me to clip you around the ear, I'm more than happy to do it. But in reality, these are 6 really weird dieting hacks that you won't see anybody else talk about. But they'll make a massive difference, because all the other stuff you see online is just the boring. And hopefully you've got a ton of value from this. All I ask is that you share this with somebody else who could get value. That means the world for me, because I just want to impact more lives, get people results, see their mindset change, and get after it. So until the next one, I really appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. Means the world. Big love. I'm out. Whoa!